Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, BrittanyBearMakeup. If you guys are new today, I will be reviewing the 35S palette, Sweet Oasis palette from Morphe. I'm really excited to share with you guys my thoughts about the formula, how it looks, all of the fun details. So subscribe to my channel, turn on your post notifications, and keep on watching.
You are now rocking with
Brittany, bitch. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the new 35S palette, and I'm going to be giving it my honest, genuine opinion in a review. If you guys have not watched my reviews before, I want to explain them to you guys. They're super simple. So basically there's a total of 4 categories. First being the packaging, second the range, third application, and last being the price. I rate it 1 to 5 stars, and at the end I give you a total score and let you guys know if I think the product is verified. So with that being said, let's dive into today's palette and see what it's all about. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 35S palette. It is called the Sweet Oasis, and it honestly looks very aesthetically pleasing. I have to say that this is a beautiful palette. They went ahead and created this beautiful Oasis Paradise sunset here. You have the blues, the pinks. I mean, this honestly looks really appealing to the eyes. And because I've been in quarantine for so long, I definitely want to go wherever this is. So Karen was the one who did the campaign, and she looks so beautiful. She looks stunning in all of the photos. So here you have the packaging. It's basically your standard hard cardboard packaging that Morphe normally has, and on the back it just looks pretty much the same as in the front. Super cute, and I honestly have to say I like the colors they chose for this palette. So let's open it up. So here we have the little plastic paper that typically comes with sanitation reasons, and then you have the top of the palette, and it does not have a mirror. So I know a couple of the palettes that they've been coming out recently actually do have a mirror, and I've always just been a person that loves traveling with one palette, and something that I can just prop up, has a mirror, just kind of gives me everything that I'm looking for. That is definitely a little thought that I have to mark against Morphe here. But let's take a look. Here we have the palette, we have all of these shadows, and below they did place the names. So I like that they didn't go ahead and place it on the plastic, because realistically I always toss this out. So this is pretty good. I like that they went with black so that it doesn't look super dirty. It's pretty simple, to the point. It's really pretty, and I feel like the colors just really draw you in. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and rate the packaging a total of 4 stars. This palette right here looks really aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I have to admit, guys, when I saw it, I was really impressed with all of the colors that they got into one palette, because it literally looks like a sunset. It starts from your beautiful caramels and neutrals, goes into these beautiful pink shades, and then goes to these aqua turquoise shades, which I think are so stunning. So it's a mix between matte shades as well as glitter and pigmented shades. And I have to say, they created the perfect sunset in this palette. The range of this is so versatile, because this is a palette that you can really get beautiful, natural, neutral looking shades, as well as your fun colors if you want to play. The only thing that I think it's missing is a black eyeshadow. I feel like if it had a black eyeshadow, this would be everyone's go-to palette, because it has so much versatility. So with that being said, I feel like they did an incredible job, but I really wish they had added that black eyeshadow. So for myself, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5, because it was just almost there. I just need that solid black shade so I can always create fun colors with all of these shades. Alright guys, so the next category is my favorite. This is literally why I watch reviews. I want to see how pigmented these shadows are. And I do want to say something prior to me just diving into the shadows. I always notice that eyeshadows that have bright pigmented colors with Morphe tend to either be really super pigmented or really chalky. So I'm curious to see the formula of this eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to let you guys know what I think. So let's begin. I really loved the look Karen did for the campaign. I think it looks really beautiful. So I'm gonna kind of try to create and play something off that. So I'm gonna go into the shade right here, and it's called Picture Perfect. So I'm gonna begin working it into the crease. All right, so I applied a little bit of the product because I want to build it. I don't want to just have like this super intense bright eyeshadow. So the color that I've applied is like this beautiful, it's almost like my dress, like fuchsia shade. And it's definitely building. The first swipe that I gave it, it wasn't as pigmented, but I am working with a little bit of product because I want to build up that product. Okay, so the second time around, I'm liking what I'm seeing. So far, no fallout under my eyes, so I do like that. Let me go ahead and blend this in So I'm spending a couple minutes and I'm actually building it, and I have to say that it's building so nice. It's blending really, really good, and I don't have any fallout. So this is definitely something that I'm impressed with, and the pigment is definitely there. So I'm gonna spend a couple minutes just kind of buffing this in. I really wanna get it as vivid as I can so that I can show you guys the color payoff. So I'm gonna go into this light shade. It's called Hibiscus Blossoms. I'm gonna use this hibiscus color, and I'm gonna try to kind of like just fuse both those shades in. This is lighter, so we're gonna see how this looks. All right, so I'm fusing both those colors in, and I'm just using this to kind of blend out that shade. It's very, very light, but it is pigmented. I love how these shadows are not looking chalky at all. Like, that is something that I do have to give Morphe in this palette, that there's a couple other palettes that I've used and I felt like the shadows were just really, really chalky, and this one is blending very nicely. I'm gonna darken up the eyelid a little bit. So I'm actually gonna try this color. Vineyard Escape is like this beautiful rich purple shade. Let's go ahead and test that and see what that's all about. So starting from the inner corner of my eye, I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I'm so impressed that there is not one bit of fallout underneath my eye at all. That actually makes me really excited for a palette to have so many colors and to not give me like that really cheap looking shadow. That's pretty. I love that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna buff this in, and now we are going to cut the crease, and we're gonna use a couple other shades from the palette. I'm just gonna place the color Love Struck onto the actual lid, and it's this beautiful pink shade. I'm gonna see how this looks. It's really pretty. So I wanna say that this shade is a little bit more on the chalky side. Like, it's buildable, but it definitely is a little chalky, but it's going on nice. All right, so I placed it on my lid, and I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I think it looks really good. The only thing with the color Love Struck is I had to kind of build that product so that it looked more vibrant. So it definitely had to be built onto the eyes. And this is what I'm talking about, how some shadows actually look a little bit more chalky. This would be one of those shades that I would feel like the formula could have been a little bit better. All right, so I'm just going to finish off this eye by taking that Picture Perfect shade and just blending it into the corner. I'm giving you guys a whole eyeshadow tutorial while we're at it. And I love these colors. I feel like these ones are just so pigmented. They look really good. So I just went in with that Picture Perfect shade that I had applied in the beginning, and I just kind of smoked it into the corner, and it blended out really nicely, and still so impressed that there's no fallout underneath my eye at all. So I do want to just dive into one of the more opalescent, sparkly, glittery shades, and I'm gonna go into the shade Just Us 2. It's really pretty, definitely has like a pink shimmer to it. So I'm gonna just spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray so I could get the full color payoff. And I'm gonna take the shade and just pop it right here in the corner. That looks so pretty. Ooh, and then I'm actually gonna put a little bit on the brow bone as well. Oh yeah, you guys, that is nice. That is so, so pretty. I love that. I haven't done this in a minute, so I'm actually impressed with myself at the same time. My eyeshadow isn't done yet, so I'm gonna clean it up, add some liner, and you guys are gonna see the final look. But for the most part, you guys saw it blended out really, really nice. The color payoff was there, it was really good. And the only thing I have to say is there are a couple of probably lighter shades, and this happens with a lot of eyeshadow palettes. The lighter they are, or like the darker they are, sometimes they come off a little bit chalky. So I did notice that the shade Love Struck was a little bit on the chalky side. You just kind of had to build a product, but overall, I'm really impressed. And I have to say, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I think it did its job, and the application was pretty poppin'. So the last category we have to talk about is the price of the 35S palette. So this palette is gonna retail you for, dun dun dun, $25. $25. Honestly, in my opinion, out of all of the colorful palettes that I have tried from Morphe, the pigmentation probably was the best from this palette. I've tried some really, really bright and fun, vibrant palettes. I feel like the pastel palette they came out with was so nice, and I wanted to love it so much, and I did love it, but I did notice that there was a little bit of chalkiness in the formula, and I feel like every time they come out with a palette, they're doing better and better at creating more pigmentation and really just delivering a good, solid palette. So $25 to me, I I think is super affordable. And I'm really glad it's not $30, $35. I think $25 sounds like a really reasonable price for this palette. With that being said, there's a lot of versatility from it. There's a lot of different colors, and I think I'm gonna give it a solid 5 stars for the price. So with that being said, it's a total of 18 out of 20 possible stars, and I think that that is very clear that the 35 Sweet Oasis palette from Morphe is verified. So this palette launches the 14th of this month, and hopefully you guys love this palette. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below if you guys will be purchasing it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on those post notifications so every time I come out with an awesome, amazing video, you guys are the first to know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!